This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're in a very busy Camden today with me, promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, I'm here and we have a roof for Sunday. All systems go for Okolie Cieslak.
Yeah, I was there yesterday and it was still a bit of a hole, but nowhere near the arena by the looks of things. So, yeah, good to go. Looking forward to it. Sunday boxing, really good main event. A lot of big fights on the card as well. Of course, the pro debut of Galal Yafai, the pro debut of Chev Clark as well, Campbell Hatton. A big European title fight with Jordan Gill against Gurphy, Anthony Fowler, Fabio Wardley. Big night of boxing, and all systems go.
With Lawrence, we know he wanted the unifications. There's probably a little bit of disappointment from him that he hasn't had them, but in Cieslak, not an opponent he can really afford to be overlooking.
Probably, to be honest with you, like Cieslak is better than some of the world champions. And I think it's important to get that kind of challenge for Lawrence Okolie because, yes, wants Bradis, wants Makabu, etc. But at the end of the day, you've got to feel like it's a challenge. And last time out, he had a mandatory challenger that, with all due respect, shouldn't have even been a mandatory challenger. This time, he's got an elite cruiserweight, very, very good fighter in Cieslak, who's coming to win and coming with a big team, big Polish support as well. They believe they can become world champion on Sunday.
With Lawrence, he tweeted a while ago, if he can't get the unifications, he'll just go up to heavyweight. With the WBO, they like to support their champions when they move up. What is your understanding as to what his route would be at heavyweight if he moved?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, we'd love him to move up as mandatory, but I'd also love him to move up as unified or undisputed champion. I just feel that, like, I've experienced it in the past with champions where you haven't been able to get them unifications and they move up and you always look back and say, Kell Brook was probably quite a good example of that. I feel like he could have unified the division, couldn't get a unification. Same with Demetrius Andrade, and Lawrence Okolie is one of those guys that you wouldn't really pick as a fight. He's very hard to beat, he punches very, very hard. So we've got to pay up the money, quite frankly, to get those unification fights. And I think we'd all regret it if we couldn't make those fights before we moved to heavyweight. But the move to heavyweight is inevitable. Like, he's massive, he punches more than hard enough to hold his own in that division. But I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business at cruiserweight.
Also on the spill, we've got Siobhan Clark, and as you mentioned, Galal Yafai starting their pro journeys as well. I wanted to talk to you a bit about this cycle of Olympians. Is this the most competitive it's been in terms of signing Olympians since you've been in boxing?
Yeah, I mean, you always want good stock, don't you? It's like when you buy a racehorse. The one that comes from a good bloodline is the one that's worth the most money. We're at a stage now where these guys are getting just incredible deals to turn pro, which is brilliant for them. But as a business, you've got to just put your ego to one side and say, do you rate that guy, or are you just trying to sign him because everyone else is trying to sign him, or girl? And what is the value of that fighter to your platform? So I look at Galal Yafai, and after, I think everybody appreciates he's the standout Olympian from Tokyo. But when I spoke to him about the path I wanted him to take, which was to come out and make a statement by going straight into a championship fight over 10 rounds, the deal changes and the plan changes. Like, I'm not interested in giving these guys 8 6-rounders, but they don't need it. And the refreshing thing about Galal is letting him go out there and actually do something different. Because they're so good, some of these kids. Like, Galal could really fight for a world title in 2 or 3 fights. He won't be doing that. But what he will be doing is moving at a really decent pace. So, with all the Olympians, it's case by case. It's very easy just to go, we got to get him. And then you sign him on a deal. Fraser Clark was a great example. I saw the deal and I was like, I said to 258 and Fraser, take that deal. It's unbelievable. That's life-changing for you. And he was right to take it. And Galal went with us, Chev went with us, and there's only a few left now. And we'll see what happens with them.
Quick word on the rest of the card. We've got some heavyweight action. We've got the return of Campbell Hatton as well. What are the sort of highlights of the undercard?
I mean, Jordan Gill against Gurphy is a big fight because really that's make or break for Jordan Gill. I feel like Jordan Gill is an exceptional talent, but he's got to deliver on the big stage. Gurphy is a two-time, two-weight European champion, much better up at featherweight. He was killing himself down at bantamweight. That's a really good fight. Galal's got a really interesting fight. He should be, even on his pro debut, levels above Bautista, but Bautista has been the championship rounds, or 10 rounds, a number of times. Like, he's fit, and that's going to be the danger in that fight. I'm actually looking forward to Anthony Fowler's fight. He's actually got quite a tough fight, moving up to middleweight. I think he's going to be a lot stronger. And then obviously Campbell Hatton in the ring now, Chev Clark debuting as well, Fabio Wardley back from like 7 or 8 months out, Dempsey McKean, who's here making his UK debut as well. John Hedges. I mean, it's a big night of boxing, and it's a big night of Sunday boxing, which is something completely different and something that I feel has a solid future running in after the football. So looking forward to it, but the main event I think is a really good elite cruiserweight matchup.
So we're on Con Brook. We haven't spoken to you since. You work with both guys, Kel especially, you've had a relationship with for a long time. What was going through your head watching it from home on Saturday?
I thought it was exciting, really. I mean, again, like there was a few things going through my head. Number one was, you know, I wish I would have made this fight 7 or 8 years ago when Kel was a world champion, and you know. But it was still exciting because you didn't know really what you were going to get. I thought Amir Khan deserves a lot of credit because he was shot to pieces. I said, I don't mean it disrespectfully, but he knew he was, and he still tried to win, and he still went out there and he took a couple of decent shots in the end. He got wobbled by a jab, but Kel got more confident. He looked really strong, and you know, if you're Kel Brook, you're thinking, oh, maybe I've still got it. Was it that he has still got it, or was it that, you know, Amir was obviously not the same Amir Khan, which he wasn't, and that was sad to see. But I thought it was exciting, you know, and I thought it was a good performance from Kel. And now he's got the option. Obviously, Amir will retire, but I guess Kel will be thinking, do I carry on or do I call it a day? And it'll just be about money, really.
Can you give us a little insight as to what was said on FaceTime between yourself and Kel, and how much of that conversation was about Conor Benn?
I texted him after the fight just to say, listen, well done. And it was on Sunday, and I just looked at my phone. It was a missed FaceTime video from Kel Brook, and I thought, strange, I haven't spoken to him for ages, and called him back. It was nice because we've been through a lot together. You know, some great times, some really frustrating times as well, some sad times as well, and you know, it was good to see him get that victory. It was good to see him with a smile on his face, good to see him make money. I mean, you know, I don't think, you know, that's another story, but for me, he should fight on. And I didn't think I'd say that after the fight, but I think with how he looked, and again, we don't know, but I would like to see him fight Conor Benn. And I said to him on the phone, what's your thoughts? And he went, I don't know, well, you know, it's just about money, which it is. He's a prize fighter. And I feel like we could put a huge offer together to fight Conor Benn. There's Chris Eubank Jr. as well. But I said to him, when you got a fight for you in your weight class or around that weight class, why would you fight a middleweight? You know, that was why we moved up originally and fought Gennady Golovkin, because there wasn't any big money fights available for him at 147. So, but now there are. And that is Conor Benn, so we'd love to make that fight.
Which do you think is a commercially bigger fight, Conor Benn on DAZN or Chris Eubank on Sky?
Conor Benn on DAZN. But they're both big fights, and commercially they're very similar in value, to be honest with you. But one's at 147 or 149, or whatever Kel wanted, and one's at 160 or 158. So that's a massive disadvantage to Kel Brook. But look, he's going to do what he's. I don't represent him. I don't know him. Have enough conversations with him. But I wouldn't be surprised if he retired, if he doesn't get the deal that he wants. He's made his money now. So, you know, and it's a good way to bow out. I get everybody saying, great way for him to retire now, but it's hard when you actually look good to call it a day, when you got big offers coming in, so we'll see.
A few other things to whiz through. I appreciate there's people waiting on you here. Canelo Alvarez, we've been waiting to see which way he's going to go. We're hearing that he's close to being announced a 2-fight deal Matchroom. How soon will that be announced?
We're still working on it. I mean, look, I think we're in a good position. I think we've got some great options for Canelo Alvarez. It would be a dream to work with him and Eddie Reynoso again. You know, it was announced last week that he was coming with us. It was never done, but you know, hopefully we can reach a deal, and it would be massive for us as a business and massive for DAZN, and you know, doing everything we can to get over the line.
Fury Whyte, Dillian Whyte's finally signed his side of things. I've seen quotes from you saying that you found Dillian's silence quite amusing at times, and seeing the uproar that's kind of came from it. I remember something similar back in the day when Ohara Davis went over to fight Josh Taylor, and Ohara Davis maintained this silence, and it was driving people nuts. Is this just Dillian having a bit of fun?
I just think, you know, you've seen Fury now saying he's now coming off social media till the fight, so no one's really saying anything. But it's not like Dillian's the kind of guy. He's not just going to play to your tune, right? So when you're being goaded and come out, say this, say that, I think Dillian's just going, do you know what? I'm just going to do my work. And when you're in a purse bid situation, a lot of this stuff about, he wants extra money to do the... No. Basically, there's a purse bid deal and there's a normal deal. And they're both very different. So Dillian's going to do what Dillian has to do. But the most important thing is for him to prepare. It's not that long till the fight. He's not going to be flying around. I saw the quote from me, flying around on Ryanair and picking up COVID along the way. He just wants to win the world heavyweight title. So, but I do think why I said it was funny, just because it made me laugh that Tyson likes to be in control, and he's very good at that, right? And he's brilliant at mind games. And I just feel like they were a bit lost. But it is what it is. Probably won't matter on fight night, but it was quite amusing in the interim.
Have you spoken to Dillian or anyone around the promotion regarding what your role will kind of be at the fight, whether you'll be at press conferences, etc.?
No, I'm not really invited. I'm not wanted at those press conferences by the host promoter. But I speak to Dillian's guys every other day. We met last week. We spoke yesterday, I think. I'm here for him on any level they want. We've got a great relationship. Promoted virtually the whole of his career. We've been very loyal to him. He's been loyal to us, and we're here, ready to support him, see him win the world heavyweight title. I'm not going to be asked to promote in any way the fight. Happy with that, but it'll be a disadvantage to the promotion. But I'm here to support Dillian Whyte.
Final one, we know Usyk is in the UK. Any progress on Usyk-Joshua too?
No, that fight's done, obviously, but we're just going through the site offers that we've had in. Spoke to Daniel Levy at Spurs. That would be our preferred option if the fight was in the UK. We would prefer the fight in the UK, but it's also Usyk has a revenue split in that fight, and they're going to want to see what offers are in and where is the most money fight to be staged. So, but AJ dialed in, ready for that fight, and hopefully in the next week or so we'll get ready to announce a date.
Right, Eddie Hearn, thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.